extra fabric flowers. I got a lot of blood on my thumb and I left a thumbprint, and now I'm not breaking my ankles. I'm a musician and I'm on tour, and I wanted to show you guys all of my tour outfits. I have a new album coming out called It's Not Real, and I wanted to show you guys what I'm going to be wearing on stage every night of this tour. This is actually a dress that I did not make. This one is a Selkie dress that I absolutely adore. It makes me look like a fairy princess. It's super flowy, and the back has this great bustle that's actually detachable, so I can unbutton all of these buttons and make it flow out even longer, which I haven't done yet because I'm a little nervous that I'm going to trip over it on stage, because I have done that before with outfits that are too long. So I really like this bustle, just keeping it a little bit shorter, but it's still longer in the back, so that when I'm dancing around on stage, it flows behind me like this, and I look like a little fairy princess. I've been following Selkie for a very long time because they're one of the, I feel like, few design, they have one of the few designs that I really enjoy, which is that very princessy look. And so I actually sent my mom on a hunt to go look at Selkie dresses for me, and she came across this one and a couple other ones, but this is the one that I brought on tour with me because this one felt the most stage worthy. I also really love these sleeves. I feel like sleeves, like whenever they're super billowy like this, add a lot of dramatic touch. I haven't learned how to make sleeves yet, so I don't have any sleeves on the outfits that I make yet, but hopefully I'll be able to learn how to do that soon. So I have a few outfits I wear that I transition between every night. This one I actually wore the first few nights because I had an allergic reaction the first several days of tour, and this was the most comfortable outfit, so I'm actually very, very glad I brought this with me, because it's not like so much a corset, like super tight top. So I wore this one the first several nights, and I'll probably wear it maybe once or twice more. We have a couple weeks left of tour, so I think I'll wear this maybe once or twice more, but for the rest of tour I'll be wearing other outfits. So before the tour I actually had a few photo shoots, and I knew I wanted it to be a dress that I made myself for the main album photo shoot and for all these press photos. And so I was thinking about something that felt really uniquely me, and I knew I wanted a corset top. I knew I wanted it to be a big fluffy skirt. I thought it would be really nice to have some flower detailing. And so whenever I was sketching it, I was like, see, you can hear me like testing out, like, would sleeves work? Did I want the fabric to be made out of? Did I want a petticoat underneath? How did I want the corset? Did I want it to be square? Did I want it to be cupped? What would the layering look like in the skirt? So this is all what kind of went into it in the planning of it. And then as I was making it, it took a very long time to make. It took an entire week, which normally I just knock out a dress super fast, but this one took a whole week to make. And so I knew I wanted it to be a long-lasting one also, so I made sure to use lots of interfacing on the inside of the corset between all of these fabric layers. I also used steel spiral boning. All of this black fuzz on the flowers is actually from Elise's tour sweatshirt that I've been wearing, and it leaves black fuzz all over my fabric flowers, and I can't get it off, so it's just gonna have to be there till the end of tour. But I really wanted this to last as long as possible, so I really went all out with steel spiral boning, extra layering. This chiffon, I'm not super talented, swear to God. So there's a lot of really rough edges here because I didn't know how to do like a rolled hem or anything, so all of the edges are really rough. But from a distance, you can't tell. People are seeing it on stage. And then under here, I knew I wanted it to have like a pink sheen, but I didn't want it to be a pink fabric, so I used pink tulle underneath it to give it like that, it glowing from underneath sort of look. And then I used a poly satin lining underneath so it wouldn't scratch me and it would have a good solid base. And before this, I actually didn't know how to make a dress. I just knew how to make a corset, hence corset and then separate skirt. And so I was trying to figure out in my head, I was like, how to math to connect corset to skirt. So I finally figured that out. And while I was cutting the boning for the skirt, it actually cut me really bad. And I actually was like, this is kind of cool. So I got a lot of blood on my thumb, and I left a thumbprint on the inside of the skirt lining as like a sort of proof that it was like my blood, sweat, and tears went into this dress. So that's probably my favorite part. I also added lots of beautiful gold grommets onto the back. I thought that the more grommets I added, the more sturdy it would be, but it ended up just being more work without the extra sturdiness. So that is noted for the future. And then I also individually sewed all of these fabric flowers onto here. My mom actually owns a wreath shop where she sells wreath supplies, including a lot of fabric flowers. So anytime I need fabric flowers, I just call her up and I'm like, Mom, can you bring me home some extra fabric flowers? And so that's how I got all of these. And then I had to individually sew every single one onto here, which took the longest. It took probably double the amount of time that it took me to make the rest of the dress, just sewing these individual flowers on. To get the fabric, I actually tried going to Joann's, and then I realized they shut down. All of the Joann's everywhere shut down, so I went to Hobby Lobby, and they actually have a really good selection of fabric there, and that's where I get most of my fabric, is from Hobby Lobby. I try looking online to find thrifted fabric, but sometimes that's a little too expensive for small projects like this, so I just go to Hobby Lobby and get some quick fabric for really cheap. I actually have a lot of people always ask me where I get my fabrics from, and it's Hobby Lobby. So this outfit, this skirt actually was longer yesterday, and then I put it on for the show last night, and I was like, this is too long. I look like a mushroom. So I took craft scissors, like the little 4-inch scissors, and I went around and I just cut it. I just raw cut it all the way around. So it's very rough right now, but it works. So I only wear one outfit every night, but this is definitely, the cherry blossom dress is definitely my favorite. But this one is a crowd favorite because I actually have a full long form video of the process of making this outfit, and then also wearing it on stage the next day, because I had to make this outfit actually in one day. And I did, and that's on YouTube. So if you want to see me actually making this outfit, you can check that out. I have a full long form video. Actually, at the show last night, there was a dad with his daughter that came up, and he said that he had watched the video of me sewing this dress, and then I came out on stage wearing it, and he was really excited to see it, so that was really sweet. But this was probably like this was the first outfit I made to wear on stage. And it was actually made out of a curtain that I found in my producer's studio in Nashville, and I saw it on his wall, and I was like, you're not attached to that curtain by any chance, are you? Because I thought it would make such a beautiful dress, but he showed me where to get it, and so I got my own curtain, and I made it super fast. The original pattern, I had to add a couple inches to the corset to make it a little bit longer so that I could wear it on stage and jump around in it, because it wasn't originally made for like doing strenuous activity on stage, so I had to adjust the original pattern to make it work for this. But this one is pretty similar to this dress. It's actually like the same exact thing. This one is just connected and this one isn't. And I actually added an extra little layer here, like an extra just detailed flap, because I thought that would look nice on stage. And then whenever I wear either of these outfits, I have this petticoat right here, and this goes underneath my skirt. I did not make this, but what this does is it adds a lot of volume without me having to waste fabric on making petticoat after petticoat for every outfit. I just throw this on underneath whatever skirt I'm wearing, and it adds a lot of volume, it adds a lot of dramatics, and so I can move around and fluff around on stage, and everyone loves it. So because I have these fancy dresses every night, and they aren't things that I can fold up super easily, I do have to steam them pretty constantly. This dress I steamed actually once, and we have it hanging out in the junk bunk or hanging up in the shower so that I don't have to continue steaming it. But these ones I do have to like shove into a cubby, so I do have to continue steaming these ones. I do try to get away as much as possible without needing to steam anything, but I did have to steam this outfit last night, and I probably will need to again a few more times on the rest of this tour. These are my shoes that I wear every night. They're very like starting to fall apart. You can see like the backs of them are starting to fray because I'm moving so much on stage and I'm stepping on myself over and over again. I think it's funny how like they're starting to fall apart. I did actually buy a second pair of these, so I do have an extra pair for like close to the end of tour when these actually start falling apart. I do have another pair to go through. But these are my favorite to wear on stage. I used to wear giant ass pumps that I would trip over all the time. There would be wires, there are normally wires running across the stage, and whenever you're wearing giant heels, it's very, very easy to roll your ankle and roll it very hard. So I just kept doing that too often, and it was getting so ridiculous, and I looked ridiculous on stage. People loved the dramatics, they loved the heels, but I didn't love rolling my ankles and falling in front of everyone so often, so we switched to flats. I actually switched to flats on my last tour. I grabbed like some TJ Maxx, like beach sandals or whatever, and I really loved wearing flats, and so I was like, I need to get some cuter ones, and so we decided with these ballet flats, and they're really cute. I just crossed the ribbon over my ankles, and everyone loves it every night. They love just the same as they love the heels, so I don't think it's any like dramatics lost there. In fact, I think it's actually added because of the ribbon, and now I'm not breaking my ankles. So because I actually cut this skirt last night, I'm actually going to be wearing the extra skirt that I cut off as a cute little scarf on stage. I saw like, why not? It's a cute little accessory and I might be able to throw it into the crowd. I actually have two of these now because the skirt was so long. But I normally don't wear earrings or any extra jewelry that's going to hang off and get caught in anything, because I have tried wearing hoop earrings before, but I have in-ears whenever I'm on stage and they get caught and tangled in my hoops. And also I have so much hair that anytime I move my hand through my hair or past it, if I'm wearing bracelets or rings or anything, it gets caught, and then I'm stuck there pulling out my hair while I'm trying to sing, and it's never a good look. So since I've stopped wearing jewelry other than my necklace, I've been so good. I haven't gotten caught on anything. Shoot, where did I just put it? During sound check and stuff, I look like a wreck. I'm normally in like my hoodie. I've like seen people waiting outside before we go into sound check, and I have my hair curlers in, which I actually have to put in right after this for the show tonight. Which are these little guys. Everyone always asks me what they are because they're not like normal hair curlers. I put my hair in a ponytail and then I divide my hair into 5 sections, and I wear this on top of my head, but I look ridiculous. And so I basically go the entire day. We go get breakfast, we go to a gas station, we go through sound check, and I look like that the entire day, and I just have to not care about it because I need my hair to be curled. So that's always fun. But I have to do this every morning before the show, and then like literally 30 minutes before I go on, that's whenever I take it all out, and that's whenever I have curls. And by the end of the show, my curls are gone again. It doesn't last long at all. I try styling foam, but whenever you're moving as much as I do on stage, I'm doing head bangs, I'm whipping my hair around, I'm sweating my ass off. Everything combined just completely destroys all the work that I do for my hair. So I literally just curled it, but you can't even tell. So I have to do it again right before this sound check. Thank you so much for coming by and looking at all of my dresses. I'm so excited to show you everything else I have coming out. I have a new album called It's Not Real coming out very soon, along with so much more new music. So go check me out at Ella Red. You can find me Ella Red, Spotify, wherever you get your music, and all over social media. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it.